Okay, day 4. Leg day, leg day, leg day. For a day that's usually my favorite, because I get to go pretty heavy on legs and I get a pretty good pump of them despite being on the larger side and not having the leanness to show the muscles off too well. I'm not really feeling it tonight, man, so that doesn't mean we're not going to do it. We're still going to get in there, get the workout done, but it may be a bit of a simplified workout as compared to, well, my already simplified workouts. I'm thinking I'm not a fan of squats because being on the larger side, I really have to look out for my joints. And so, weirdly enough, leg extensions don't fuck with my knees anywhere near as much as squats do, or even hack squats do. But despite that, I think keeping hack squats in the routine is probably going to be for the best. Maybe later down the line we'll start doing like actual squats. But for tonight, probably going to do 8 sets, I would say, on the leg extensions, and then we'll finish it off with 4 sets on the hack squats. Then for hamstrings, I think I've mentioned it previously, if I remember correctly. There's only one exercise that I can do at this gym, at least thus far, with the machines that they have, and that's just hamstring curls. So all I'll be doing for hamstrings is 12 sets of hamstring curls. I might break it up into like doubles and singles, but we'll see how I'm going with it. Other than that, gonna smash out the cardio, and then the TFT game. What to build for that? One of my friends messaged me today and said that he had a good game on a 9 Noxus team comp, and I'm not usually one for going to level 9 and getting that many units on the board, but I think I might try give it a shot tonight. But if anything from yesterday was an indicator that things don't always go according to plan when it comes to doing TFT while doing cardio. But other than that, I don't think there's really much else to talk about. I think maybe on the drive back home I might talk a little bit more about dieting and stuff, but we'll see how I go and we'll see how late it gets. Gym's pretty empty, so should be able to film a decent amount of stuff in there. So nothing much more to it than to get to it. Okay, take 2 of the post-workout car talk. You won't see the other take because it did not go well going over speed bumps and not having a tripod, but yeah, day 4, I think it's day 4. Yeah, day 4 in the books, leg day done. Got a pretty good pump in the end. Ended up doing 6 sets of leg extensions, full stack, repping till failure. Then moved on to single legs for another 3 sets, doing the same thing, but on like plate 8. Then finished off quads on the hack squat, plate 18 tonight. And then finished off leg day by just doing a bunch of hamstring curls. I think I was on plate 13 for most of them, but started to drop off towards the end. I'm thinking I kind of agree with the idea that doing hamstrings first is probably better, because by the time I got around to doing them, man, I was just annihilated, having done like the cardio and then the quads and then getting onto hamstrings. It was not the best hamstring workout, let's just say that. We then, if you have noticed, there is no actual footage of any of that workout, because as soon as I sat down to do the cardio, someone else rocked up to start doing their workout, which is perfectly okay with me, because the person who rocked up is someone who I think started around the same time that I did. And every day, because I've been going in every day, but every day they would also show up around about the same time that I would, and they were just repping the bar for every single workout that they were doing, like overhead press, bench press, squats, deadlifts, bicep curls as well, just everything. They would do basically a full body workout, just repping the bar, and they would do this day in, day out, and it seemed like they weren't making any progress. And then they've just now, well, they disappeared for a week or two, and then, sorry, I just saw a thing on it. Anyways, yeah, they disappeared for a week or two, and then now they've come back. They've started to put on plates, so they're making good progress. Mad respect to them. And it's motivating to see, someone else making progress in the gym. As much as it is motivating to see anyone make progress in the gym, I think it's equally as motivating, if not a little more motivating, to see beginners and people starting from an even lower point than perhaps I was, given that I already had a bit of muscle before coming in. It's even more motivating to see them making progress. But in terms of the TFT game and the cardio, I had a good 35-minute cardio sesh tonight, so not too much longer than what I usually aim for. Did not end up going Noxians, ended up going Demacians, and only came 6th. Team comp was going pretty okay, but I decided to stupidly just play like a hyper low rolling version of Demacians, and from having done that a few times now, I just don't think it works. I think it's a pretty good road to failure to do a low econ Demacian build. So yeah, it seems that every time I plan out something in terms of a TFT comp to do during cardio, I just never end up doing it. So I think tomorrow we're just not going to make any plans, and then we'll just see how we go. And maybe my position will improve by just sort of going with the flow rather than trying to brute force anything, I suppose. Or maybe just, rather than jinxing myself into bad games. But yeah, I think I mentioned in the pre-workout car talk that I was going to talk about my diet. I think I'll just briefly talk about it now. For this time around in my weight loss, this attempt at weight loss, I suppose you would call it, I've sort of meticulously designed the way that I eat to be structured both around my day-to-day schedule, but also my caloric needs and my sort of personal needs when it comes to eating. In that, I've noticed in the past that if I try to eat the way that a lot of people recommend, whether it's like, eating small meals throughout the day, or eating 3 square meals, or eating like this way or that way, high protein, high fiber, it's never really worked for me, and I've never really been able to curb that endless hunger that seems to always follow my diets around. But this time around, what I've done is I've done a combination of 18 and 6 fasting. So I only eat between the hours of 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. And I'm shooting for about 2,500 to 3,000 calories per day. I usually hit closer to around 2,500 than I do 3,000. But like some days hitting 3,000 is okay, especially when my estimated BMR is actually like upwards of 3,500. And what I do this time is, rather than trying to eat like 3 square meals or focusing on a particular macronutrient, other than ensuring that I have a lot of protein, I just ensure that I have 2 really big meals, one at 12 p.m., one at 6 p.m. And those end up being the majority of my caloric intake for the day. And then I can have some snacks, by which I mean like a banana and a protein bar between those hours of 12 and 6 and those 2 meals. But by doing this and also planning out what the meals are comprised of in such that they are made from calorically not very dense foods, this allows me to eat a lot of food in order to curb that hunger signaling. And so what I've noticed is that if I make a meal that's like 800 grams but only contains about 1,000 calories, that does way more for me than doing that twice a day, having 2 1,000 calorie meals that are about 800 grams each, does more for me than having 3 800 to like 600 calorie meals that are less voluminous. Yeah, I think you get what I mean when I say that. And I think that's always been something that I've sort of missed when it came to dieting prior. I think I either focused a little too much on reducing the calories by reducing how much I eat, or ensuring that I got X amount of fiber or X amount of protein, and sort of neglecting a more holistic view of what my eating habits are like. Yeah, I think that's all I've got on that for now. I'm a little tired after leg day, so I'm not cognizantly very present, but perhaps tomorrow in the pre-workout car talk, I'll go a little bit more in depth with a bit more of a coherent stream of consciousness. But yeah, I think that'll do it for today. Tomorrow is chest day, I believe. I don't know what we're gonna do. We'll figure it out tomorrow, but yeah. See yous.